ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, continues from Charleston, South Carolina. It's the semifinals of the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic. Shaka Smart's undefeated Marquette Golden Eagles facing Bob Huggins and the undefeated West Virginia Mountaineers. Earlier today in Charleston, St. Bonaventure advanced over Clemson as the first ticket was punched for Sunday's championship game. And with last night's win, Bob Huggins passing Bobby Knight on the all-time coaching wins list and tying Roy Williams for fourth all-time with victory number 903. And with that, we welcome you inside TD Arena. Rich Hollenberg, Debbie Antonelli. And Debbie, this is a little bit of a different Mountaineers team than we're used to seeing roster-wise, but Bob Huggins still has them playing defense.
Oh, this is all about D for West Virginia. You might have to give up some blood to be able to score against West Virginia tonight. They're going to be ready to play up the line, disruptive, gritty, and tough. Bob Huggins, a terrific architect of a long, athletic, defensive effort. Look at the number of turnovers in a small sample. They're already third in the nation in turnovers forced. And then against Elon, they scored 26 points off 17 turnovers. That's back-to-back games where they've been able to get 20 or more points off their defensive effort. And on the other side, for Shaka Smart, he's got a great defense too. Defense transfers out of the portal with Darryl Morsell from Maryland, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. He has had 4 consecutive games of 20 or more to lead Marquette. He is good off the bounce, he can get to the line, and he is terrific in transition with that mid-range game.
Going to be a lot of gold and blue in this building for West Virginia and Marquette, and we will have the opening tip from TD Arena in Charleston right after this. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere, and by Dollar General, where you save time and money every day. Oh, that's inside the kitchen of Hall's Chop House, and an institution here in Charleston as we welcome you back inside TD Arena. Getting ready for Marquette and West Virginia. And when you talk about two teams that hang their hat on defense, these are two teams that do just that. And it's not just the Mountaineers that specialize in it. Marquette's playing some solid defense as well, Dave.
Especially in their ability to close out the game against Ole Miss last night, where they held Ole Miss in the last 8 minutes of the game, 4 for 13 from the floor, and forced 3 turnovers. I thought Marquette's execution late was fantastic, and with their multiple look defenses and the ability to have multiple scorers on the floor, this is going to be a really fun game, very entertaining, very exciting for the fans, and certainly this place is fired up.
A full house inside TD Arena. Not many empty seats and not many people sitting in those seats as well. They're on their feet. They're ready for this one to tip. Marquette's going to be wearing their road black uniforms again. They won last night in them. Why not do it again? And there's Shaka Smart in his first season as Marquette head coach. Of course, he took VCU to the Final Four back in 2011, spent 6 years at Texas, where he took the Longhorns to the NCAA tournament 3 times in those 6 years. But now he's got a roster full of guys who can play the type of pressure defense that he likes to play. And we saw that in game 1. We've seen it in their first 4 games, and they're undefeated because of it.
Well, they understand how to anticipate. They rotate very well. They communicate. And because they're there on the catch with high hands, they allow their teammates to be able to make plays on the defensive end.
Your officials, Terry Oglesby, Jerry Pollard, and Tim Clockerty were underway. And Darryl Morsell, the leading scorer on this Marquette team, with his first shot of the game, and it's good. And we're seeing some three-quarter court pressure from Shaka Smart.
So when Marquette scores, they go into their 1-2-2. Three-quarter court, and they match up in the quarter court.
Starting 5 for West Virginia, highlighted by Taz Sherman, who's averaging over 20 a game for the Mountaineers. 5 on the shot clock. Sean McNeil's gonna have to push go. He does, and it's too strong. Loose ball, Perqueth clears for Marquette. Here's Olivier Maxence Prosper, got away with a travel, gives it up, and Marquette has 2 in the paint.
Both these teams very capable in the transition game. Both do an excellent job of advancing the ball up the floor with the pass, Rich, not necessarily trying to dribble through the press.
This is a young Marquette team. That starting 5 doesn't feature many that are older than Daryl Morcell, but he's the key to that team. Scoring underway for West Virginia. That 3 goes down by Kedrian Johnson.
Justin Lewis right here, number 10 with the basketball. 6'7", 245, using that frame.
Had himself a career night last night against Ole Miss. 21 points, 9 rebounds versus the Rebels for Justin Lewis.
Well, they're looking to trap Sean McNeil.
Here's Cottrell, blocked by Queth. Lewis tries it from 3. And Cottrell grabs it away from Omax. Chance to take the lead for the Mountaineers. Here's Sherman. He's got the green light whenever he touches the ball, and that's why.
Yeah, he is really good. He's bouncy. He's coming off a career high 27 last night.
Here's Morcell. Straight line drive, and 1.
Well, this is how good Daryl Morcell is reading the floor on the offensive end. West Virginia goes under that ball screen, and the reason why you go under is to keep them from turning the corner. This is how committed down the lane line Daryl Morcell is to getting to the hole. Great screen by Queth, and a strong take off the bounce by Daryl.
Shaka Smart preaches to his troops, play violently on both ends of the floor. Violent on offense means drive it aggressively to the hole. That's exactly what Morcell did. He went 8 for 9, or actually 9 for 10 from the free throw line last night, and he makes his first one tonight. He's got 5. The Marquette lead is 2.
Full court pressure off the free throws, different than off a made basket.
How's it different?
Well, the made basket is 3/4 court.
Here's Sherman, too strong this time. The rebound to Omax. And you can see the kind of pace that Shaka Smart wants to play.
And Johnson late on a rotation, and that's what Bob Huggins was talking to us about before the game. They get a great trap from the weak side. You're going to make that steal if you're Kedrian Johnson, and he didn't anticipate enough. Instead, he's late, and he picks up a foul.
And that's his second of the night already, just 3 minutes into the game. The national leader in steals per game in the first couple of weeks of the season now takes a seat on the bench, and Malik Curry, a super senior transfer from ODU, checks in. Here's Kolek, and he's been cold shooting this entire season. It'll be interesting to see if he could get on track again in this tournament.
You know, Rich, I was talking to Larry Harrison, the assistant coach for Bob Huggins, before the game. I said, are there any guys that you can trust with 2 fouls? He said, not the way we play. So we might not see Kedrian Johnson for the rest of the half. And the way they play is really aggressive.
Sherman calls his own number and knocks down the 3.
Taz Sherman loves Charleston. He has been fantastic.
Morcell out to Lewis. And that 3-pointer drops. It's been a revelation from beyond the arc for Justin Lewis.
5 triples last night, which were a career high for that young man. And that's Daryl Morcell setting him up into a catch and shoot on a skip off his penetration.
Justin Lewis made 2 3-pointers in Big East play all of last year, Debbie.
That's called hard work, Rich. You get in the gym and you put the time in.
Sherman against 3 Marquette defenders, and he comes up empty. And Olivier Maxence Prosper has been doing work on the glass. 3 rebounds already for number 12 in black. Here's a catch and shoot, and Kolek cannot find the range.
Now, Tyler Kolek is a shooter, okay? So as a shooter, he's got to move on to the next play, and he has done a really good job of doing other things to add value.
2-point game in the first 4.5 minutes in the Charleston Classic semifinals. Marquette with a 2-point lead, and Marquette has been led by Daryl Morcell. The transfer from Maryland has been a revelation offensively. He was the defensive player of the year last year in the Big Ten for Maryland. This year, he's turning it on offensively. 4 straight games to start the season, 20 or more points. One of only 2 players in Division I basketball to do that. Keegan Murray from Iowa, the other one. And Marquette has benefited from Daryl Morcell's presence. He is what they call a grad transfer. 4 years at Maryland, and now in his 5th year with Marquette. But there are players now in basketball who have 6 years of college basketball. Malik Curry handling the ball right now is one of them. I called him a super senior earlier. He's played 5 years already. Now he gets a 6th because of COVID last year. And here's Morcell at the other end. He has scored or assisted on 10 of the Golden Eagles' 12 points so far.
Well, Malik Curry's going to get some minutes right here on the top of the floor for West Virginia, with Kedrian Johnson on the bench with those 2 fouls. And Osaboyan loses his balance. Back-to-back jams by Marquette. Too easy.
Omax with the flush. His first 2 points of this Charleston Classic.
And see a made basket, Rich. It's a 1-2-2.
And the foul called on Morcell at the head of the press. A 7-0 run by Marquette, Deb.
I love a shot blocker that blocks it into their transition game. Look at this by Queth. And immediately up the floor. Too easy for Marquette. Back-to-back flushes.
And one thing about this Marquette team, they are young, especially by comparison. 7 of the 10 in their main rotation are freshman status. That's the opposite of Bob Huggins. 7 of the 10 in his rotation are seniors. And there's a foul called. That's going to go on Kirk Queth, the big man, and that's his 2nd.
So you don't want Queth out there on a defensive ball screen trying to defend a guard, and there's the Marquette breakdown that you're talking about. Queth picking up that foul. He's a big guy. You want it. If you're going to pick up your fouls, you'd rather have him get them around the rim.
Valuable for his shot blocking is Kirk Queth, but valuable for that senior leadership. And now he's going to be on the bench. And Shaka Smart is fired up. He loves what he's seeing in the early going.
Well, he gives energy, and his players play with it. And those that come off the bench, like, I mean, Iguodala has been great, and so has Cam Jones.
Here's Sean McNeil, one of those seniors we talked about. Nice feed inside to Damon Carrigan. And DC has a chance for 3.
This is called doing your work before the ball gets inside. Look at Carrigan get great position, 2 feet in the paint. Iguodala's got to stay away from that one.
Cam Jones whistled for that foul. The freshman who had 18 last night against Ole Miss.
Excuse me.
And Damon Carrigan, another one of those super seniors. Couple years at JUCO, played at FIU last year, and now finishing up his collegiate experience with West Virginia. And he was thinking breakaway dunk.
Oh.
And what's the call here?
They're calling it out of bounds, and he got tripped. He got tripped in the open floor here, and Coach Huggins not pleased about this call at all. Watch right here, Carrigan and Lewis get tangled up. Ooh, I don't know. That might have been a good call.
Well, you know, half the building's going to agree, and half the building's going to disagree.
What a great house tonight.
Here's Jones, goes around the back, right to the rim, and the circus shot doesn't go. McNeil comes away with it.
Let's see if they can run Sean McNeil off some screens here and get him a look from 3. He's been quiet early.
Here's Sherman, guarded by a freshman, Stevie Mitchell. Curry, left hand, off the window. One of the fastest players on the floor, Malik Curry. And that ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Marquette basketball. Well, we're almost 7 minutes in. We've got the type of game we fully expected. A close contest, lots of defense, lots of pressure, lots of pace. Who do you think has the advantage right now?
Well, I'm not sure that anyone has an advantage yet because they've both been able to play the way they want to play, right? It's been getting steals, making plays at the rim. It has been both teams being able to stretch their defense. They both have depth. This is a well-played, well-executed game thus far. Well executed on the defensive end.
Yeah, and well officiated too. Jerry Pollard, you just saw him go over, talk to Darryl Morcell before they started play again. You could sense that things have the potential to get chippy here. Catch and shoot. Cam Jones off the mark. And McNeil clears on the weak side.
You have to earn in the quarter court what you get on the offensive end. See,
Curry tried it again.
It's not a good decision right there by Curry. And you see, when he drives, if he turns and looks behind, McNeil is filling behind on that penetration.
And he's a left-handed player, much stronger going to his left side. That time he tried to go to the right. Here's Mitchell, one of the true freshmen, number 4 in black for Shaka Smart. Morcell in attack mode. A little bit of a line drive on that mid-range, Jay. 4 straight misses for Marquette, and with a 3, West Virginia could grab its first lead of the game. McNeil, and that one's pinned by Iguodala. West Virginia wants the offensive goaltend. They're not going to get it.
Oh, I don't know. That might have been on the way down.
Tough to call in real time.
That's really close.
It's going to be West Virginia ball under their own basket, and a true freshman, number 2 in white, Kobe Johnson, in the game for Bob Huggins will do the inbounds.
Off the ball.
And Stevie Mitchell called for the foul.
And you see Shaka Smart calls his freshman over and tells him, you got to win the low man wins here. You got to play the low game. Your center of gravity has to be lower on that so you don't pick up that foul.
Here's Taz.
Well,
into the lane, and he took advantage of that matchup.
They like to clear it out for him.
A 6-0 West Virginia run has knotted this game up at 14 apiece. Lewis sets the screen for Morcell, and he throws it away. Here's McNeil in the open court. And a foul's going to be called on Tyler Colett. Back and forth we go, 11:44 left in the first half, and this crowd is lit in Charleston. Debbie, a couple of 20-point scorers playing Can You Top This in the early going.
I mean, so good at reading the floor, right? You go under, Morcell gets all the way to the rim, off the block and the transition opportunity, and Taz Sherman's got a little size on the defenders or the quickness factor, and he is able to read the floor as well. Look at this take right here. Through contact, through the chest of the defender. Makes plays on balance, really good at being crafty with the basketball. This is a fun, we talk about defense with these two teams. I'm loving the offense right now.
Morcell with 7, Taz with 7. Taz Sherman coming in averaging 20.7 points per game. Looking to become, and I know we have a long way to go, but looking to become the first Mountaineer to average 20 points or more per game in 18 years. The last one to do it back in 2003, Drew Schifino. That was the pre-Big 12 days.
You know, and Taz is doing it without really making a lot of threes. He's only made 4 this season so far, so he's getting to the line, he's getting to the mid-range, He's very good at getting to his spots on the floor where he can score.
Marquette scoreless in the last 3 minutes of play after putting up 14 points in the first 6. First lead of the game for West Virginia. Nice spin move off the glass and the use of the offhand by Jay Lou.
It's a big time move. That's hard to spin in the middle of the floor. That's not going to look good on film in the morning for West Virginia.
Some NBA scouts in the building. Justin Lewis, one of the young men they're looking at. And that is some found gold for Bob Huggins. If Paulie Polycap's going to get in the scoring column.
Well, he made a play going to break where he switched to steal, and now he scores in the front of the rim over his left shoulder, and now he's rebounding.
And Polycap grabs the rebound. Had 6 of them in only 8 minutes of play in their quarterfinal win. And now Jalen Bridges gets in the act.
If you run the floor hard and wide, and you run all the way to the baseline, and you advance the ball, you're going to be open.
Loose ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be West Virginia basketball. Jalen Bridges now with that three-pointer, Deb, 7 for 11 on the season from three-point range. And if they get that kind of production from him, it's going to be a big year for West Virginia.
Well, Coach Huggins talked to us about the versatility of his scoring capabilities. With his size, we got high expectations for him.
Sherman, pull-up game.
You're going to buy a shot fake that far outside the three-point line? Come on now, you got to stay down.
The Mountaineer faithful have traveled from Morgantown to Charleston, and they're loving it.
And now we're here at Patriots Point, right by the USS Yorktown. This ship was used in World War II and was finally decommissioned in 1970. It's one of the most popular attractions in the Charleston area.
Alex the Best, he's in the running for MVP of this Charleston Classic,
no
matter who wins the tournament.
All tournament team for sure.
Well, here's Feast Week by the numbers. We always love this time of year because it's wall-to-wall college basketball. 90-plus games being played. We're focused here on Charleston. The championship game will be Sunday. St. Bonaventure will be in that championship game. Huge comeback win for them against Clemson earlier today.
St. Bonaventure made 10 out of 12 threes in the second half. And Alec, we're talking about him being an all-star. He's a sophomore at Northwestern in their journalism school. Got a bright future in the business.
He'll be taking my job in no time.
Better yours than mine, Rich.
Here's Gabe Osaboyan. Not an offensive threat, but does everything else Bob Huggins wants.
Tips, steals, deflections, shots, block shots, and he draws charges as well.
That ball out of bounds. Jerry Pollard says it's Marquette basketball. Not only is there some great basketball going on here in Charleston, but also in the Palmetto State at Myrtle Beach. They're playing the Myrtle Beach Invitational, and that final is set. Oklahoma, with new head coach Porter Moser, will be taking on Utah State in the championship game. A couple of high-scoring semifinals in that one. And now for the first time this season, number 5 in black, Greg Elliott, has checked in for Shaka Smart. He's a returning player, played for Steve Wojciechowski last year, and he is a sniper. Interesting to see how much playing time he gets and how effective he is since it's his first game this year.
We talked to him a little bit before the game. He said he's ready.
Yeah. Suspended the first 4 games, failure to adhere to department policy. But if there's one criticism of this Marquette team, if you ask Shaka Smart, it's they're not as effective offensively yet as they are effective on the defensive end. Greg Elliott could go a long way towards helping that.
Well, it's early, it's November. Most teams' defenses are ahead of their offense, but Greg Elliott made 45% of his threes last year.
Well, Taz Sherman has struggled from three-point range this year, but the mid-range is his office. He has 11 already tonight. Kolek, shooter's gonna keep shooting, and Tyler Kolek finally connects on a three.
Yeah, that young man just needs some confidence. He's certainly capable, and we know he's put in the reps.
Just his fourth triple of the season for Tyler Kolek, the A-10 Rookie of the Year last year with George Mason. And they're calling that a two-pointer for Kolek. That was a two-pointer.
Nice job by McNeil to invert to the block. Good delivery by Kolek. Tyler Kolek puts the ball in the shooting pocket every single time on the perimeter, and that time he makes a nice delivery inside.
And Shaka's going to rely on him to play more of a point guard role this year, and he's embracing that. And the shots are falling for both clubs now.
Good flash to the high post by Bridges. Uh-oh.
Here we go. You don't want him to come unhinged if you're Bob Huggins.
Tyler Kolek responsible for the last 8 points for Marquette.
Here's
triples and an assist.
Playing volleyball with that one. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Marquette basketball when we return. 7:06 to go. West Virginia up 6.
When you hit a triple, it allows you to get off the bounce into the paint, and he drops it off inside. Nice delivery. Better finish.
The basketball.
I think he is a hard-working young man who understands as Marquette gets a 5 count defensively. That's unbelievable defense coming off the timeout. That cannot make Bob Huggins happy. You got to cut hard. You got to screen with purpose. But to go back to your point about Tyler Kolek, you can add value without scoring. And he's done that. He's an excellent passer. He reads the floor. He advance passes. He knows personnel. He's a tough-minded kid. And he's shown it by moving past his small shooting slump. It's a small sample on the season, but he's certainly capable.
Lewis found a little bit of airspace. Morcell the rebound. Open look for the freshman Joplin. And David Joplin's in the scoring column.
Another player off the bench for Shaka Smart that has been able to bring some value. Played really well last night against Ole Miss.
Here's Isaiah Cottrell, and he's got a nice outside touch.
Yeah. 6'10", guard-like skills.
Already 7 different Mountaineers have scored tonight.
Trapping that high ball screen.
Joplin goes down, turns it over.
That's an excellent job by Cottrell.
And West Virginia wisely retreats.
Yeah, Sean McNeil's not in the rhythm of this game yet offensively. Let's see if he can get on track.
Here's Kobe Johnson from 3. Making 8 Mountaineers in the scoring column. And they are 4 from 5 for three-point range in the first half. Here's Elliott. Nice feed. Kolek back out to Elliott. His first jump shot of the season is off the mark. Offensive rebound to Marquette. Joplin had Lewis, but he didn't get the timeout. And now West Virginia with a chance to cheer.
And Joplin sees Elliott in the corner and is trying to set him up. It's just unselfish right here by Sean McNeil. Sean McNeil's letting the game come to him, Rich. He's not forcing anything. He's got an open shooter. He passes it to the corner. And Kobe Johnson with that, his 6'3" freshman with a 7-foot wingspan.
Canton-McKinley High School's all-time leading scorer, over 1,500 points in his decorated high school career out of Ohio.
Zone by Marquette.
5 minutes to go in the first half, and it's been an entertaining one. The left-handed jumper's good from the mid-range for Malik Curry.
So you play on top of the zone, and then you get the ball below the free throw line and try to attack the gaps.
The lead is 10 for West Virginia, their largest of the night. And that foul's going to go on Gabe Osaboyan.
You know, Gabe Osaboyan looks like a walking foul, doesn't he? I think sometimes the officials think that too.
Well, Bob Huggins says the things we love about Gabe Osaboyan are the things that unfortunately reduce his playing time because he gets a lot of fouls called.
That's part of the reason why he doesn't start. Okay, so he jumps out on the screen and see he's got his hands on Morcell.
Kolick triggers the inbounds. In the corner, all alone. Elliott in and out. And the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay Marquette basketball, 4:34 to go. Prosper. And the foul's going to be called, and that's going to go on Gabe Osaboyan again.
He's in the restricted area.
Second foul on number 3 in white, Gabe Osaboyan, and immediately Bob Huggins goes to his bench. Jalen Bridges will come on.
Well, he tries to get outside the restricted area, but he doesn't get there. I mean, he's averaging 3.5 fouls a game.
And you can make the argument there's no one better in college basketball at taking a charge than Gabe Osaboyan.
Well, he's a guy you can trust on the backside of your defense, right? He can block shots, but he also can rotate and draw charges.
Prosper knocks down the first.
And speaking of trust, we definitely know that Coach Huggins cannot trust Osaboyan with 2 fouls in the first half.
Well, you go back to November 9th, their season opening win against Oakland, and Gabe Osaboyan took 5 charges in one game. You realize how hard that is to do?
You know, The Athletic did a survey of Big 12 players and anonymously asked the players anonymously, who is the toughest player to go against in the Big 12? Gabe Osaboyan was the answer. He's a guy that you love to have as your teammate, but you hate playing against.
That's a freshman guarding a super senior. Cam Jones, true freshman. Malik Curry with the blow by.
Wow, what a finish.
Nice look. Kolick to Iguodaro for 2.
And Curry scores, and then he runs right into the screen. That forces a rotation and allows Iguodaro to be open at the rolling to the rim.
See if Curry tries to take advantage of this matchup again like he did the last possession. Tried to dribble through the defense.
See, there's no room to snake behind that.
Omax to the hole, and he missed the bunny. Taz Sherman's been quiet the last couple of minutes. The and one. And Bridges can't pay it off. Here comes Marquette. Kolick. Transition 3 for Tyler Kolick, his second of the night.
This is his first 3, has made his last 3.
Tyler Kolick has 8, and the lead has been cut to 5. We need Shaka vision in this game. Shaka Smart is a game unto himself on the sidelines.
Oh man, that is a bad foul by Daryl Morcell.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. "51 seconds of game time here in Charleston, and right now West Virginia's making a bid to meet up with 22nd ranked St. Bonaventure in the championship game. The Bonnies advanced in a 16-point comeback win over Clemson, 68-65. And listen to the guys' points.
Right.
You talk about shot selection. Marquette might be falling in love with the three a little bit too much.
Well, and to Chris and Sean's point about fouling the three-point shooter, I mean, you got to know personnel. And Sherman has only made 4 triples. He's more dangerous off the bounce.
And he's money from the free throw line. 14 for 16 on the year coming in. He's knocked his first 2 down tonight. A second-team junior college All-American at Collin College a couple years ago. He has been given the keys to this offense by Bob Huggins, and he has responded in the early stages of this season. Already with a game-high 14 tonight. And that foul is going to go on Malik Curry, and that's right in front of Bob Huggins.
It's only the 5th team foul, though, so Bob Huggins' team has played with defensive discipline. Remember, Osaboyan picked up 2 quick ones, and then right there, a gamble by Curry.
Here's Kolek, he's been hot. Has that cross-court pass picked off by Jalen Bridges. And a foul is going to go on Omax.
Yeah, that's a terrific read by Bridges on the defensive end, because Kolek has been throwing those cross-court passes. He's been leaving his feet, and he anticipates right here. That length in the passing lane. Marquette has 19 fouls, and West Virginia is a pretty good free throw shooting team. You got the right personnel on the floor.
Bridges hits the front end of the 1-and-1. So far tonight, West Virginia 6 for 7 from the charity stripe. So far in their first 3 games, they make 12 free throws per game.
Marquette doesn't have really anybody they can go to the block and score with their back to the basket. They've got to get it off the bounce.
Prosper working on Sherman, and he's called for the offensive foul.
The hook.
That's 2 on Olivier Maxence Prosper.
Watch the hook right here. Taz Sherman holding his ground in there against a taller offensive player.
Veteran group on the floor for Bob Huggins. 4 seniors and a sophomore in Bridges. And one of those seniors, Sean McNeil, with the mid-range game.
So mature and letting the game come. A nice matchup that Coach Huggins wants to take advantage of.
McNeil has 6, largest lead of the game, and that's what Damon Kerrigan does better than almost anybody in the country, blocking shots. Kerrigan on the offensive end got his shot blocked. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Oh, and Kerrigan again with the denial. McNeil called for the carry. They call him DC, Damon Kerrigan.
So he makes a tremendous defensive play, but maybe celebrates just a second too long for Coach Huggins' liking, because they had a transition opportunity with numbers going the other way. And now he's going to take a seat for that very reason.
Well,
that's what I think he's sitting for.
I wouldn't disagree with you. He is an exuberant player, an energy giver. 18th in the nation last year for Florida International.
And so look at the collective body language right now with Marquette. They've got to pick it up right here and finish the last minute. This can go one of 2 ways right here for them. They can get this thing to single digits, 3 possessions, or West Virginia has a chance to put 2 more scores on the board based on the time left on the clock.
Bob Huggins, usually very conservative with his use of timeouts, calls his first one tonight with 1:09 to go in the first half and his team up 11. What's the biggest reason why the Mountaineers are up this much?
Well, I think it's been their defensive effort, their anticipation in the passing lanes, their ability to get out on the break. The last couple of possessions, they've been able to get stops, and I think Sean McNeil's starting to come alive.
Well, tomorrow we'll have another giant game in the Big Ten. Number 7 Michigan State taking on number 4 Ohio State at the Shoe in Columbus. First place on the line in the Big Ten East. It's a noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific start on ABC and the ESPN app right after College Game Day on ESPN.
OH.
IO. Marquette in the last 2 minutes, no points and 3 turnovers. This young Golden Eagles team has been worn down a bit by a more veteran West Virginia defense.
Well, it's a live ball turnover that's hurt them.
Under a minute to go now. Here's Sherman, guarded by Prosper with 2 fouls. 10 on the shot clock for West Virginia. McNeil off the bounce.
Yes, you can sense it.
A 9-0 West Virginia run. And McNeil has 9. Kolek gets the shooter's touch on that one. And he's in double digits with 10. Shot clock is off. Last shot time for Bob Huggins' team.
They're going to go 1-4 flat for Sherman right here. This is Sherman's opportunity to score. I would rotate somebody up and double him and make someone else make a bucket.
10 seconds. Gotta go, 6 seconds left.
He doesn't want a screen.
Here's the step back. It's off the mark. And we're gonna go to halftime with West Virginia up double digits. The officials are gonna go to the table and check to see if Sean McNeil's last made jump shot was a 3, and it looks like it was, Deb.
I think it's a 3.
So with that, Bob Huggins goes to the locker room with his West Virginia Mountaineers up 11, 46-35. Coming up at halftime, it's the E-Trade halftime report. Returns on ESPN, presented by Lowe's. This is the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic. We've reached the halfway point of the final semifinal. West Virginia up a dozen, 47-35 over the Marquette Golden Eagles. Alongside Debbie Antonelli, I'm Rich Hollenberg inside TD Arena on the campus of College of Charleston. And Deb, the offense really showed up for West Virginia. 9 different Mountaineers scoring, and a lot of it was keyed by their defense.
You got to love that kind of balance offensively, but yes, their defense was able to turn Marquette over. They scored 12 points off 7 Marquette turnovers, and in a live ball turnover, you're not going to get back and defend that. I love the shot blocking into their transition game, and then Kerrigan's ability to get to the front of the rim and get a deep bury. How about this deflection and steal right here allows them to get into their transition game, and this is just a good offensive possession by West Virginia. They're able to push the ball in transition, run the floor hard and wide, and take advantage shooting 58% from the floor. Dunks will help your shooting percentage, and 4 for 6.
Well, West Virginia has the most points scored this season, looking to remain undefeated. They came into this contest 3-0 on the year. Marquette is 4-0, and I think Shaka Smart would disagree with me when I say this, but maybe Marquette has West Virginia right where they want them. They trailed Illinois by 12, did Marquette. They came back and won that game. Last night, they trailed Ole Miss by a dozen. They came back and won that game. So at very least, the Golden Eagles have shown the ability to have some resilience and comeback to it.
Well, when you are built with the kind of defense that Shaka Smart has put in play, you can come back, right? You've got to get 3 stops in a row. If you can do that, you can get right back in the game.
Taz Sherman, the game high scorer. He has 14 coming off a career high 27 last night. Bridges the offensive rebound, but he lost it. And here comes Morcell. The look up ahead goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay Marquette basketball. Tough pass to expect a big man like Kirk Queth to track that down.
So decision making is critical here, right? You got to make sure that you aren't taking the risky play right now to get back in the game.
The two veterans, Queth and Marcel, both saddled with early foul trouble in this one. They were on the bench for a large part of the first half.
Now, Queth only played 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
And there he makes his presence felt in the opening possession. Sherman. O'Max the rebound. And Jerry, the officials say that Marquette stepped on the baseline. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
Justin Lewis backs down, and because he draws two, it opens up the weak side glass for Queth.
And the foul's going to be called on Prosper. That'll be his third.
That's what I'm talking about. Why take a risk right there?
Prosper staying on the floor with those three fouls. We'll see how long that lasts. Now he's guarding McNeil. McNeil had 9 in the first half. Here's the matchup to watch. Marcel guarding Sherman. Off the hands of Kedrian Johnson and out of bounds.
See, Johnson was going to the glass because he thought Sherman was going to shoot that. Good defense that possession by Marquette.
Just the 7th West Virginia turnover of this contest. Marcel. And that foul's going to be on Kedrian Johnson, and that's his third. Well, we mentioned the comebacks that Shaka Smart has authored already this young season. In 2 of their 4 wins, they were down by a dozen. They find themselves down a dozen at halftime here, and now they're trying to chip away at this deficit against West Virginia. Shaka Smart, a foundation of his programs are relationship built. That's a quick way to build some good relationships. Comeback wins. There's a big three-pointer.
I love the way Bridges sets up to shoot it when he comes off that pin down.
In the corner, and Justin Lewis has become a sniper from beyond the arc.
He's just adding versatility and balance to his game. He's already powerful at the rim.
What a follow, but it doesn't go for McNeil. Queth the rebound. Chance to cut this deficit to single digits now for Marquette.
Right in the shooting pocket. Every time by Kohler.
Tyler Kolek gets another assist. Justin Lewis gets another bucket.
Tyler Kolek.
Here's Cottrell. Knocks down the jumper. They're calling that a two-pointer. I think his toe was on the line. A two-pointer for Isaiah Cottrell. And a foul called on the floor. No shot from Marcel.
On the line.
So now Kedrian Johnson goes to the bench for Bob Huggins with 3 fouls, the starting point guard, and Malik Curry checks back in.
Let me correct myself. There's 2 lines on the court. One is the women's line from last year. Then there's the men's line, which both men and women are shooting from.
Here's Morcell. And Daryl Morcell has gone into a mini slump. No points since the 15-minute mark of the first half. But Jalen Bridges is putting together a different kind of story. 11 points now for JB, number 11. The lead back up to a dozen. Here's the trap. Kolick in the corner, got it.
What a play by Daryl Morcell. He steps through that trap. It's not always a called trap, but he's on the sideline, and it's a great read by Cottrell. It's just a better play by Morcell to find Kolick in the corner.
Tyler Kolick had 3 3-pointers made in the first 4 games. He's got 3 tonight. I don't know if it's too early to say this, but he looks like he's back in his form. Tough shot by Sherman and the rebound of Kolick.
I was talking about this. Oh, here comes the steal by Curry. Let's make a good decision here.
I don't know if that would count as a good decision. Prosper with the finish at the other end.
You know, I said this last night. I love the pressing teams, how they understand how to attack the press. The space opens up. Both these teams are so well prepared for it. It's the unpredictability of the traps that come with it.
Now the Marquette faithful starting to have their voices heard inside TD Arena. Deep 3 by McNeil. Too strong off the back iron. Morcell gets it. Here's Prosper. Out to Kolick. Look out. Got it! An 8-0 Golden Eagle run. They're right back in this contest. Bridges can't answer. A bucket here makes it a 1-possession ball game. Morcell, quick!
Oh, wow. Morcell playing downhill. Wow. Bob Huggins does not like to call timeout in these situations. He wants his team to play through.
Queth clears again. Open look, Lewis, count it! For Justin Lewis, and the lead is dwindled to 3 for West Virginia. Cottrell can't answer. And a foul on the floor, says Terry Oglesby. My goodness, Marquette is right back in it, Deb.
Bob Huggins doesn't like to call a timeout here. He's waiting on the media. Tyler Kolick in transition. What a play out of the locker room by Marquette.
Sometimes you live by the 3 or you die by the 3. Right now, Marquette is living by the 3.
Daryl Morcell does a great job stepping through that trap, skipping it to the weak side. Kolick buries a corner triple, then it's a transition 3. How about this play right here? Morcell again downhill, and Justin Lewis to the corner. The spacing has been outstanding here in the second half by Marquette. They are 4 for 6 in this second half.
Yeah,
Rich.
Tyler Kolick leading the way. He's got 16 points on 4 made threes. 6 assists also for Tyler Kolick, a redshirt freshman, transferred over from George Mason, where he was the A-10 Rookie of the Year And when we talked with Shaka Smart at the start of this tournament about Tyler Kolek, he said he loves how serious he is on the floor. He's older than his age, but sometimes that works against him because he takes the game so seriously that if he misses a shot, sometimes it affects the rest of his game. We haven't seen that so far.
No, we haven't seen that at all. As a matter of fact, he missed his first 3 shots, but he still makes plays, and he's hard to take off the floor because of his intellect on the court and his ability to read the floor and his understanding of what I call the 3 W's, who to get the ball to, when, and where. He's terrific at that.
Well, this happens a lot, but I can't say I ever remember this happening in a college basketball game. The officials and the official score are not 100% sure what the accurate score is right now. In TD Arena, they're saying West Virginia's up 3, 56-53. But our score shows Marquette is up 1, 55-54.
They have to go back and look at replay, time and score. They're allowed to take their time over there with DV Sport and get the right score.
And now they changed it inside the arena to match the score that we have on our TV screen. So Marquette has taken their first lead of the game since it was 14-12 early in the first half.
I mean, this is a possession for possession game. Now, West Virginia had a run. Marquette's now in a run. You got to really dig in and focus on the details on both ends of the floor. And you got to be ready to make the next play, Rich. You know, you got to move on into the next play.
West Virginia's largest lead was 14. It was 12 at the half. And Marquette in the first 7 minutes has come all the way back to grab that lead away from West Virginia. Sherman refuses the screen, pulls up and hits the baseline jam.
That's a big time play right there. Reject the screen, drive into your spot in the mid-range. He's so good at getting to his spots on the floor.
First bucket of the second half for Taz Sherman. He has 16 to lead the Mountaineers. Great shot fake by Justin Lewis, and another flush by Kerr Quaff. Inside and outside for the Golden Eagles offense. Coming up on 8 minutes gone by. The winner faces 22nd ranked St. Bonaventure in the championship game. Osaboyan can't get it to go on 2 attempts. Here's Lewis, blossoming into a 3-point shooter here in Charleston. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Olivier Maxence Prosper. His 4th foul of the game. We have a timeout on the floor. 11:37 to go, and Marquette has wrestled away the lead from West Virginia. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. We were treated to a dance-off during this most recent timeout. Marquette up 57-56 in a back-and-forth contest between the Golden Eagles and the Mountaineers of West Virginia. 11:37 to go from the second semifinal at the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic. Alongside Deb Antonelli, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Debbie, what have you seen so far that gives you an idea of who might come through down the stretch for either of these teams?
Marquette's execution in the second half has been much better. They haven't turned it over. It hasn't allowed West Virginia to get any easy baskets, and they've forced West Virginia, because they can score, to have to execute against their defense. So it's not transition or off live ball turnovers or easy buckets for West Virginia. Marquette is able to score, and then they set their D, and they're forcing West Virginia to have to make some plays on the offensive end. I know one of the things that Bob Huggins wants his team to do a better job of is passing the basketball, not playing off the bounce as much. Let's see if they move the ball better now coming off this timeout.
And one thing about Bob, 40 years in to his coaching tenure, and he is always coaching and teaching his players.
Well, he loves the game. He's a teacher at heart. His father was a high school basketball coach and teacher. He was talking to us before the game about how he used to sneak into the gym as a kid because he had a key to the gym because his dad was the coach. Bring his buddies with him.
Nice backdoor cut. Osaboyan, and Curry had it blocked by Quet. That one batted away by Kerrigan.
See, there's a steal and an opportunity with numbers. Got to make a good decision.
Here's a mismatch with Queth guarding Sherman. Can't take advantage. Offensive rebound, Kerrigan, no. And it's saved by Queth.
See how the ball got stuck in the corner and didn't move?
Oh, Morcell was all alone and he couldn't grab the pass. Now he spins to the hoop and comes up empty. Curry weaving his way through. Gabe Osaboyan with his first bucket.
Osaboyan has drawn a couple of charges. He's been on the offensive glass. He's the muscle on that back row.
Now West Virginia back up one.
You got to play Tyler Kohler as a passer. You know when he drives, he's not looking to score.
That's the 10th lead change of the game. Marquette back up one. Cam Jones' first bucket of the contest. Tyler Kolek has 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists, Deb.
Yeah, let me apologize. Tyler Kolek. I know he has a K on the end of his name. I just get excited watching him play.
Now he draws the defensive assignment of covering Taz Sherman. They switch off Sherman, and Sherman takes advantage.
That's great footwork inside. Good use of the pivot.
Tied at 60. Untied by Cam Jones for 3.
Really good ball movement. They advance pass, they move the ball, they space the floor. I think West Virginia could do a better job of matching up in transition.
Five on the shot clock. Curry in trouble. Out to McNeil. Pauly capped the offensive rebound and he gets fouled. And that's what they need from number 1 and White. Offensive rebounds. Pauly Polycap from Elmont, New York, another one of those super seniors that Bob Huggins brought in to try to replace collectively Derek Culver, who was an all Big 12 performer last year. Started his career at junior college, Harcum College, then moved on to Manhattan, played for the Jaspers, transferred to DePaul, and now in his 6th season of college basketball, finishing it up with the Mountaineers. Can't convert the 2 free throws after that offensive rebound. Elliott, and it almost falls down. That would have been Greg Elliott's first basket of the season. And instead he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Tyler Kolek is so good playing out of that double team. You know, he can welcome 2, he knows the trap's coming, he handles it well.
Well, Greg Elliott is a knockdown shooter, 83% from the free throw line for his career. And the first one's good. Sunday afternoon, a top 20 women's college basketball matchup for you. Number 12 Texas taking on number 16 Tennessee in Knoxville. Surprisingly, they've only met twice in their history, with the Longhorns winning both matchups in 2014 and 16. This one starts at 1 Eastern, noon Central on ESPN and the app. Elliott goes 1 for 2. And that three-pointer falls. And Sean McNeil's got his second triple of the night. The tip by Justin Lewis from behind. 17 for Lewis.
Play after play. This is a player's game. This is exactly the way you like it in college basketball.
Curry all alone.
That doesn't mean you should shoot it.
We have our under 8 media timeout with 7:55 to go. West Virginia down 3 to Marquette. Well, it's nothing but love here in Charleston. That's all I know. Rich Hollenberg, Debbie Antonelli, time now for our game track, brought to you by Dollar General. You see the hot shooting from Marquette has brought them back. As a matter of fact, they're 6 for 9 for 3 in the second half alone, Deb.
I've been impressed with their maturity on the offensive end here in the second half.
Conversely, West Virginia has really struggled from behind the arc in the second half. 2 for 10 for the Mountaineers. That's the difference in the game right now, as Marquette leads by 3 with 7:45 to go. Marquette's made 10 triples tonight. That's their most in a game this season. Kadrian Johnson back on the floor with those 3 fouls. 0 and White.
Getting a chance to rest Daryl Morcell right now on the bench.
3 to shoot. Taz goes to work. Did he get it up in time? The officials say, let's check it out.
Yeah, I like that they're going to stop play right now and look at it and not wait.
Veteran crew led by Jerry Pollard. They'll go over to the scorer's table and check it out.
In a game like this, possession for possession.
Ooh, it doesn't look like he did get it off.
I don't think so. Got to have better clock awareness right now if you're in West Virginia coming off the timeout. Doesn't look to me like it's out of his hand.
No basket. You never question Debbie Antonelli, we know that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. There's a lot of people that question me.
So Chaz Sherman still with 18 tonight. That leads West Virginia, but his team down 3 with 7:12 to go. A trip to the championship game on the line here at the Charleston Classic. St. Bonaventure, ranked 22nd in the country, awaits on Sunday. Good ball movement, buckets for Cam Jones.
They have worn out the corners in the second half against West Virginia. It's because their spacing and their ball movement is so crisp.
Now 11 threes for Marquette. Pull-up jumper. Offensive rebound and the putback from Gabe.
I think Marquette looks like the more connected group right now. They're playing together as a team, where West Virginia keeps the ball on the same side of the floor. They don't reverse the ball. They take quick shots.
Lewis, short on that 3-ball attempt, and another rebound from Osaboyan.
The other thing is Marquette is only sending maybe 1 to the offensive glass. They're making sure that West Virginia plays against their set defense on a make or a miss.
Bob Huggins' teams that hold their opponents under 70 points are nearly unbeatable. Marquette is sitting on 69 right now with 6 minutes to go. Sherman can't get it to go. Kolick try to get a foul called.
Better be careful he doesn't get called for a fake, throwing his head back.
Here's another three from the corner, and Cam Jones has 3 triples in the second half. It's Marquette's largest lead of the game.
Yeah, the body language for West Virginia has gone south. Their ball pressure has dropped, and the corner triples are falling.
And that's a foul from behind on Greg Elliott. Maybe it's the presence of Greg Elliott that's brought this three-point shooting alive for Marquette.
I mean, look at Kolick, no ball pressure right here. Lazy attempt by Kerrigan to get to the corner.
Yep.
None of that is going to look good in film tomorrow.
Well, they'll have a full day to dissect it. These teams get 1 day off, and then they come back on the floor for their 3rd game in 4 days on Sunday.
Well, you talk about playing with some urgency. Shaka Smart's team in the second half has played with some urgency. They're a team that has shown already they can be down double digits and come back.
And once again, we have some scoring issues here in the building. And Jerry Pollard has the unenviable task of having to explain it to Bob Huggins. On our score, it's 72-65 Marquette. In the building, it's 71-65 Marquette.
I guess they're going to check it under the 4-minute mark at the next media timeout, but I would think that for strategy reasons, you'd want to know right now.
Absolutely. Counting down to 5 minutes to go. Johnson got bumped on the way to the bucket. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Rich, Kedrian Johnson with that foul trouble has not been on the floor very much for West Virginia tonight. And see, Shaka Smart is asking the officials about checking the score right now. I like Kedrian Johnson on the floor right now in this situation. I think he is a smart decision maker at a high rate of speed. He's got fresh legs defensively. Maybe his ball pressure will have an impact.
Had 9 points and 2 steals against Elon in the quarterfinals. That was just his 4th point tonight.
I mean, he leads the nation in steals right now. Just a small sample, but so far, I mean, it's his defense that will matter right here at the end, and at the point of pressure for West Virginia.
The second half has been dominated by Marquette, and yet West Virginia still with a puncher's chance, down 2 possessions. And that foul is going to be on Johnson, his 4th.
Yeah, see, I think Kedrian Johnson, I don't like that call at all, and I know Coach Huggins doesn't like it either.
And number 2, Kobe Johnson.
Here's Kolick, the kick out. Morcell, no. Darryl Morcell held to just 7 points tonight, scoreless in the second half, but his teammates have really picked him up.
I think West Virginia is over-helping on Kolick's penetration. He's a passer when he goes to penetrate. He's not looking to score, so you need to stick with your guy and not over-rotate or over-help, because you're late on a closeout.
Not sure if you're watching at home and you could hear the Marquette faithful inside TD Arena. They're chanting, change that score. Change that score. Inside TD Arena, it's showing that Marquette's up 5, 71-66. We have the score at 72-66, and I think Shaka agrees with what our score is. They'll check it under the 4-minute media timeout.
See, like, where's Osaboyan going? He's driving into a post-up.
Yeah. 2 black jerseys right in front of him.
Well, and Taz Sherman had a post-up opportunity. He's supposed to catch it in the high post and drop it down to Sherman. But once he starts to put it on the floor, Sherman tries to set a screen to help him. That's just a miscommunication. If Osaboyan is going to take it from the high post and go one dribble to the rack, that's different than trying to make a play off the bounce with two.
West Virginia's in the bonus. They still have fouls to give on Marquette. Nice look. The dump off for Iguodaro.
Again, Cottrell rotates over to help on Kohler, and he drops it off. He has found the open player every time.
And that's
Kolek
8 dimes for Kolek.
Kolek is, I'm telling you, he is controlling the pace of the game with his offense.
16 points, 8 assists for Tyler Kolek. Cottrell threads the needle. Kedrian Johnson pays it off.
Yeah, Bob Huggins has to have Johnson on the floor. He's got to play with 4 and not pick up a 5th.
Iguodaro takes it himself, and an offensive foul as Sean McNeil steps in.
See, this is the play that's not going to show up on a stat sheet. But Kedrian Johnson doesn't let Kolek get the ball back. He makes someone else make a play off the bounce. West Virginia ball coming back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere. And by Dollar General, where you save time, money, every day. That's the understatement of the night so far, Zubin. A lot on the line. Whoever wins this game between West Virginia and Marquette advances to Sunday's championship contest, and St. Bonaventure, ranked 22nd in the nation, awaits. The Bonnies had a 16-point comeback win against Clemson. Marquette looking to cap off a 14-point comeback against the Mountaineers. How have they done it, Deb?
Well, they've executed, and they've been able to score so they can set up their defense. They haven't turned the ball over to give West Virginia some easy scoring. They've made West Virginia work on the offensive end. Now they're going to pick up with some full court pressure. They already got one 5-second count tonight.
And amazingly enough, Marquette has pulled off this comeback with Daryl Morcell being skunked in the second half. Averaging 22.5 coming into tonight. He only has 7 points in this game, and they all came in the first half. McNeil. Contested shots. Here comes the ball. And Debbie Antonelli almost took a charge on that play.
Well, I was trying to save our stage manager.
Taylor's okay, Deb's okay, we're all okay. Let's play ball. Here's Kolek. He's had a whale of a ball game. Getting harassed by Kedrian Johnson. And Tyler Kolek.
Tyler Kolek has had a heck of a game. Can West Virginia with Kedrian Johnson affect his vision, his ball pressure, his ability to be up in his grill? Because his vision around the floor and his ability to read has been terrific all game. Don't let Kolek get the ball back.
He got it back, and he got the layup.
In the last possession, they didn't let him get it back. They got a charge because someone else had to make a play.
He's been the player of the game. 18 points and 8 assists for Tyler Kolek. Here's Johnson. Oh, and he had it blocked from behind, but they call the foul on Cam Jones. Is that a foul or the ball out of bounds?
From behind. Good recovery by Cam Jones. Just the ball out of bounds.
Yep. No foul on number 1 in black. Good defensive play. Taken away by Justin Lewis. 2 minutes to go in the contest. And a timeout called. Marquette with 2 timeouts remaining. West Virginia has 3. And the Marquette faithful starting to feel it inside TD Arena. We step aside for our final timeout. Marquette looking to close it out and advance to the finals. Marquette Golden Eagles are a minute 54 away from punching their ticket to the championship game on Sunday against 22nd ranked Marquette. They trailed by 12 at halftime and they find themselves up 8 on West Virginia. A barrage of three-point shots for Shaka Smart's club.
When we talked to Shaka Smart the other day, he talked about response. In his culture, it's how you act, how you interact, and how you respond. Well, being down double digits 3 consecutive games, I think he's learning a lot about the character of his team and how they respond.
And he said one of the hardest things to do with a young team that he has is build trust. That takes experience and time, and that's not what they have. But tonight, they've trusted each other, and it's shown in the results.
Well, any coach will tell you relationships are the most important thing. And you look at them being down 12 to Illinois, knocking off a top 10 team before they come to Charleston, down 12 against Ole Miss, winning that one, and the same thing here tonight.
And they've done it without Daryl Morcell scoring a single point in the second half. He's had 4 straight 20-point efforts. Not tonight. West Virginia took him out of their offense, but the rest of the Golden Eagles have responded.
This is the 9th best team in the Big East. Come on now. I know the Big East is good. They're preseason number 9.
Mountaineers need to go, and that is an ill-advised foul on Daryl Morcell, and that'll send Taz Sherman to the line to shoot 3.
You know, I think preseason polls are predicated on who has the least number of question marks, right? So there were a lot of questions about Marquette coming in. What did Shaka Smart have besides the 10 freshmen, right? We knew they were going to be young. Well, he's done a terrific job with his guys. He loves being back home.
It's a Marquette program that went to 8 straight NCAA tournaments from 2006 to 2013. 2 of those, they reached the Sweet 16. Now Shaka Smart, the Wisconsin native, is charged with returning this program to glory.
I mean, it's from a strategic standpoint, it's taking care of the basketball and not turning it over. Okay, that's the biggest difference in how his team responded strategically. Now, how they stuck together from an intangible standpoint is also a factor in the second half. Their spacing was better, their ball movement was better, they didn't turn it over. They got some uncontested shots against a West Virginia defense that doesn't like to give up uncontested shots.
And listen, Deb, it's 1:05 to go in this game. West Virginia only down 5. Let's not put the final nail in the coffin for the Mountaineers just yet.
Full court pressure.
Almost come away with a steal there.
You play straight up D here.
Here's Kolek. You know he wanted to shoot it. Thought better of it. And the foul given by Sherman.
I would have continued to play out there. Well, you had a foul to give, so you could commit that foul. Next foul will be 1-1. I'd play it straight up and rely on my defense here.
And we talked about trust within this program for Marquette. Clearly, no matter what his numbers look like in this game, the bulk of that trust goes to Daryl Morcell still. He's the first guy that touches the ball off the inbounds.
Well, I think Daryl Morcell is becoming a closer for Marquette. He can make free throws late, he handles the ball. He's a downhill, shoulders over his pads, kind of running back look to his transition game up the floor.
Now he's a chance to pull Marquette across the finish line.
Yeah, I would have relied on my defense here. Now you're gonna, if he makes this, it's a 3-possession.
Shaka looking to take his Marquette Golden Eagles to the Charleston Classic Championship game against 22nd ranked St. Bonaventure. The Shriners Children's Charleston Classic has been electric at times.
Now Marquette can back off. The first time we haven't seen full court or three-quarter court pressure. Playing zone.
Sherman can't get it to go. The rebound, Morcell, and the foul right away. And you could see it etched on Daryl Morcell's face. They wanted this one. Daryl Morcell's 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, Rich, this is what closers do. And Tyler Kolick also capable of finishing a game at the free throw line.
So Morcell with 11, and the lead is up to 9 for Marquette. West Virginia needs a bucket, and they need it quickly. From the logo, no good. And Omax grabs the rebound, and this should salt it away for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Osaboyan whistled for his 5th foul, so he's done for the night. It's been a total team effort for this Marquette team, who came in with some question marks about their offensive ability, especially against a staunch defense like the West Virginia Mountaineers. They struggled at times in the first half, but they lit it up in the second half. Prosper's free throw is good. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Shriners Children's. Deb, I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, Tyler Kolick, 18 points, 8 assists. He handled the ball under duress all game. He got to the paint and was able to distribute.
It was Kolick who had the game-winning layup against Illinois, and now another signature win for Shaka Smart in the first 2 weeks of this college basketball season. Marquette advances to the Charleston Classic Championship game on Sunday, where they'll face a top 25 team in the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Big win for Shaka Smart and the Marquette Golden Eagles. The final score, 82-71. Final thoughts, Deb?
What a group of competitors, Marquette. What a terrific second half. They didn't turn it over. They made shots. They moved the ball. They played like a team. A terrific team win for Shaka Smart.
So here's your updated bracket from Charleston. It'll be 22nd ranked St. Bonaventure and the Marquette Golden Eagles meeting for the championship on Sunday. Once again, our final score, Marquette wins at 82-71 over West Virginia. For Debbie Antonelli and our entire crew, I'm Rich Hollenberg saying thanks for joining us here in Charleston. So long for now. We send it back to the studio.